44 years ago, I was led to the Lord by a Texan. He introduced me to my Messiah as Jesus Christ. I was so excited about what this Jesus had done for me at that moment. I didn't care whether you called him Christ, Messiah, Jesus, Yeshua. My whole trajectory of life was to be a traditional, religious Jewish cantor and an opera singer. He provoked me. There was something about him. He didn't really know or even care. He saw me as a guy who needed to know the one who created me. And I'll be forever grateful to him. Brother Jerry from West Texas. But as I began to read my Bible and keep my face in the scriptures, my whole Jewish identity came alive in a way that I'd never experienced before. After a couple of years with this singing, traveling, ministering, amazing team, I could not resist the call in my heart to no longer keep this good news from my own Jewish people. And so with no promise of anything, I uprooted my family and traveled halfway across the country to a little congregation known as Beth Messiah in Rockville, Maryland. The very first person that I met was this man, Asher Intrater. I found him in a library. We had a small room off of the sanctuary and surrounded by bookshelves. And he sat behind a stack of books that had been assigned to him by the man who was leading the congregation at the time, Rabbi Dan Juster. And to my amazement, I saw him reading like this. But they were scholarly works, and I came to know him later as a man who had graduated from a very prestigious school, a man with a brilliant mind. I'm the other half of that, the not brilliant mind, the right side that's creative, and really struggled with the left side. And we began a relationship. Both newly weds with our first sons who were about the same age. Neither of us had a couple of nickels to rub together. Called from different places, but called to the same purpose of the revealing of the covenant of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel with our Jewish people. Covenant, the Hebrew word brit, it means to cut where blood flows. And although I had read that and seen it in the scriptures, I didn't really understand what this meant. But it came home to me so profoundly one day when I uprooted my family and brought them to Rockville, Maryland to follow what we believed to be was the voice of the Lord. I didn't have a job. I had no way to support my family. We came there in a borrowed car. That's how poor we were. My wife, I'm convinced, will employ me full-time in heaven, helping her carry the weight of her crown around the kingdom. And the fact that we have remained married to the same women for us, 47 years, you're about the same. We had one car, and between those three jobs, somehow made enough to support our family. One Thursday night, the weight of what I was putting my family through and my lack of ability to make the bottom line on the checkbook grow began to overtake me. But instead of praying, I was crying, having a little pity party of how bad life was for me all of a sudden. And he looked me in the eye and he said, "What's the matter?" I said, "Asher, I'm not making it financially." And he said, "Well, that's not a problem." And I thought, well, for you, it's not a problem. He said, "Well, because you and I have a covenant. My dad is one of the best known, wealthiest lawyers in Washington, D.C. And I have a covenant with my dad. And you have a covenant with me. And in order for you to go down, the devil's got to get through my dad and me, and he's not going to be able to do that." And I stepped back for a minute, and for the first time in my life, I understood what a covenant was. And the depth of my understanding and appreciation for what Yeshua had done for me. Because he is in his Father, I am in him. And so whatever belongs to his dad belongs to me by covenant. And so with that as a foundation, I want to encourage you that when eventually we get to this table tonight, to understand that the one who makes this covenant by his body and blood with you gives us together access to all the goodness of our Father. And so, with that as a foundation, I'm so grateful tonight that I get to share this platform and this time with my covenant friend.